The battle for Pokrovsk is far from over. Ukrainian Special Operations Forces continue to strike with precision. FP-2 drones hit a concentration of Russian personnel inside the city, delivering a direct blow to assault units attempting to advance. At the same time, in the village of Kamyanka, our forces destroyed the ammunition depot of Russia's 137th Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade, a strike that significantly weakens the enemy's ability to sustain offensive operations. Ukraine's defense forces are holding the line, disrupting Russian logistics and eliminating their troops where they gather. The fight for Pokrovsk continues, and Ukraine keeps the initiative. In Pokrovsk, the operators of the 3rd Special Operations Regiment sent a calculated ambush. From inside a 5-story building, Ukrainian fighters awaited an enemy infantry group of 4 and struck with precision when moment came. The mission was executed flawlessly. During their withdrawal, the operators encountered a Russian lurker drone but neutralized it before it could pose a threat. Ukraine's special forces continue to dominate the close-quarters fight in Pokrovsk, moving silently, striking decisively, and returning safety to fight again. A precise and almost meditative strike unfolded on Pokrovsk axis. The Ukrainian forces carried out a remote mining operation that ended with a series of powerful detonations, tearing through Russian positions with calculated accuracy. It was a coordinated effort between the 412th Nemesis Brigade and the 7th Corps of the Air Assault Forces, working together as one system of destruction. Calm, focused, effective, Ukraine continues to shape the battlefield and deny the enemy any chance to advance. Russia has grown reckless enough to send tanks toward Pokrovsk, yet even heavy armor stands no chance against the precision of Ukrainian drone units. One after another, enemy vehicles erupt in flames long before they can threaten our positions. And if tanks are destroyed this effortlessly, the fate of lighter equipment is already obvious. In this video, you'll see the combat work of drone operators from the 155th Mechanized Brigade. Their accuracy, coordination, and steady tempo continue to drain the occupiers' power on the Pokrovsk axis. Strike after strike, the situation remains firmly under Ukraine's control. Ukrainian operators of the 3rd Special Operations Regiment executed a rapid, sharply coordinated raid on the Pokrovsk axis, and the outcome was unmistakable. Advancing deep into Russian positions, our special forces eliminated the occupiers on the spot, with several surviving enemy fighters taken captive during the assault. Amid the intensity of the strike, SSO troops also deployed an AR evacuation system to pull 3 wounded soldiers from neighboring unit out of the line of fire and bring them to safety. This video shows how Ukraine's special forces blend precision, speed, and unwavering bravery, breaking apart enemy fortifications while ensuring every wounded Ukrainian gets home alive. Another powerful week for the 1st Presidential Brigade Burovy. Russian forces continue their attempts to push forward on the Kupiansk axis, but every advance ends the same way, with Ukrainian defenders stopping them cold. Day and night, the fighters of Burovy, operating within the 1st Corps of the National Guard's Azov formation, strike at enemy's manpower, equipment, weapons, and supply routes. Their work is relentless, precise, and devastating. Ukraine holds the line, and Burovy stands firm. Pilots of the 10th Edelweiss Mountain Assault Brigade continue to dominate the skies over the front. With steady precision and unmistakable style, the drone teams strike at Russian shelters and the enemy's manpower, exposing positions the occupiers believed were safely hidden. Operating in some of the harshest terrain and under constant threat, the Edelweiss pilots use every advantage, attitude, speed, and coordination to disrupt enemy movements, destroy fortified points, and break up assault groups before they can advance. Each mission is planned with meticulous care, reconnaissance first, targeting second, and then a clean, decisive strike delivered from above. Edelweiss continues to deliver results that shape the battlefield, quietly, precisely, and relentlessly. For one Russian biker, the road to Kamyanka became a one-way journey. A strike by Ukraine's 28th Mechanized Brigade turned what was meant to be a quick ride into a final stop, swift, precise, and irreversible. The brigade's fighters continued their steady combat work on this axis, tracking enemy movement, identifying targets, and eliminating them with confident accuracy. Every such hit not only removes another piece of the occupying force, but also sends a clear message: any attempt to move, supply, or regroup near Kamyanka carries a deadly risk. Ukraine's defenders hold the initiative, making every road the occupier takes a potential road to nowhere. A Russian Grad launcher was torn apart down to its atoms after crossing path with a heavy strike bomber. The moment of impact left nothing to salvage. A single powerful hit that turned an enemy rocket system into scattered debris across the field. Captured by the lens of Madyar, the footage shows the precision and force of Ukraine's long-range strike capabilities. One less launcher means fewer rockets fired at Ukrainian cities, fewer casualties, and fewer chances for the occupier to dictate the tempo of this part on the front. Ukraine continues to neutralize the enemy's most dangerous systems, one decisive strike at a time. Atolls Solntsepiok wiped out, and millions lost in an instant. Pilots of Ukraine's 3rd Army Corps have destroyed one of Russia's most notorious heavy flamethrower launchers, the 220mm TOS Solntsepiok, during operations in the Liman direction. This system is built to fire thermobaric rockets, flatten defensive positions, and carve out a lethal dome that enemy depends on to pressure Ukrainian troops and support offensive pushes. Its loss isn't simply a tactical failure for Russia, it's a multi-billion-dollar blow. And all it took was an FPV drone costing only a few $100s. Guided by the exceptional skill of the 63rd Brigade's unmanned systems operators. Watch how one precise hit turns one of the Kremlin's priciest instruments of terror into a smoking ruin, and once again proves what Ukrainian forces are capable of on the battlefield. Ukraine's military intelligence operatives from the elite Kraken unit are once again demonstrating why their presence on the battlefield unnerves the enemy. In the Zaporizhzhia sector, these highly trained fighters have been systematically dismantling Russian positions with precision and unwavering tempo. Throughout October, the unit neutralized multiple enemy fortifications, struck concentrated groups of infantry, brought down reconnaissance and attack drones, and disabled Russian armored vehicles, disrupting the occupiers' advance and strengthening Ukraine's hold on the area. This video offers exclusive footage of the strikes, the coordination, and the meticulous work that keeps pushing the enemy back. The fight continues, and Ukraine's defenders keep delivering concrete results. Ukraine's 46th Air Mobile Brigade has spent another week putting unrelenting pressure on the occupiers, and the outcome is clear. Well-coordinated operations across the brigade continues to wear down Russian forces day after day. Our units eliminated enemy personnel, hit fortified positions, and destroyed motorbikes and vehicles the occupiers relied on to maneuver along the front. Each strike sends the same message: this is Ukrainian land, and the invaders will be forced off it entirely. The footage shows how the 46th Podillia Air Mobile Brigade of the Air Assault Forces turns what Russian hoped would be a quiet spot into the battlefield they simply cannot withstand. This is a rare look at the night shift of the drone bomber crews of the 63rd Brigade Unmanned Systems Battalion. Working under cover of night, these operators executed a series of precise coordinated strikes that dismantled Russian positions and took out roughly 50 enemy fighters. Their work is a clear example of how technology, teamwork, and discipline are steadily shifting the battlefield in Ukraine's favor. In this video, you'll see a steady professionalism of the pilots, the precision of their hits, and the growing influence of Ukraine's drone forces as they increase pressure on the occupier, step by step, night after night. The fiber optic FPV operators of Ukraine's 57th Motorized Brigade are turning the Vchansk sector into a constant threat for the occupiers. Working from long ranges, they strike with silent approach, rapid execution, and pinpoint accuracy, leaving the enemy with no room to maneuver and no way to hide. Each launch is a deliberate, targeted strike. Each impact disrupts another Russian attempt to move forward. These FPV teams sweep the battlefield like silent hunters, dismantling enemy positions and shutting down their movements before they can take shape. This video shows the intensity of their work, a frontline where precision becomes decisive and where the occupier is reminded night after night that Ukraine holds the advantage. On the Kostiantynivka axis, fighters of the 3rd Mechanized Battalion of the 93rd Holodny Yar Brigade once again stopped the Russian assault head-on. Enemy forces attempted another push, moving in numbers and hoping to break through Ukrainian defenses. But the defenders of Holodny Yar met the attack with coordinated fire, precise drone work, and disciplined infantry action, stopping the assault cold and inflicting heavy losses on the advancing units. This video shows how the brigade's fighters maintain control of the battlefield, repel wave after wave of Russian attacks, and ensure that every enemy attempt to move forward ends in failure. Holodny Yar holds the line, and the occupier pays the price for every step they try to take. A Russian tank turned into a bonfire, all caught on video. The moment the occupier appeared in the sights of Ukrainian drones, the pilots of the 3rd Assault Brigade reacted instantly, striking with precision and leaving the enemy no chance to regroup or hide. The tank was finished off swiftly, reduced to a burning wreck, and the drone teams pushed further, dropping strikes into the trenches where Russian troops were moving between positions. Every blast disrupted their advance and forced them out of cover. The results of this coordinated assault can be seen in the footage from the fighters of the 2nd Assault Battalion. Another reminder that on this axis, Ukrainian forces see everything, reach everywhere, and stop the enemy the moment he shows himself. That's all for now. If you believe the world should know the truth about this war, make sure to subscribe, like and share this video so everyone can see what Ukraine is fighting for. Together we're stronger, together we bring victory closer.